يا كان نور ذقلنا حروا عيني يا رب حور من بيني عقبانا دنا 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 هم صبي يا قنانة يا قنانة يا قنانة يا قنانة please think with me يا قنانة thank you وعيا الرجال إنها علم الحقائق يا حيا بين خوف الروى وذوب الخيال بين خوف الروى وذوب الخيال فوق أيوة فوق أيوة اشرب الاعرابي والعجمي محمد هو الخير خير من يمشي على قدمي محمد خير يا خير من يمشي على قدمي يغني ويغني فيه زني ما كان يغني ويغني فيه ويغني فيه زني ما كان يغني ويغني فيه زني ما كان يغني زني Thank you Thank you so much Thank you
All right, hello everyone. Can everyone hear me well? All right, everybody give it up again for Noura Mint Seymali and her band.
Thank you.
How amazing was that? So my name is Rami. I'm with an organization called Afikra, and we focus on discovering and promoting Arab arts and culture. So you can find out more about us at afikra.com and also on Instagram, afikra at AAFIKRA. And as part of Afikra, we also have a music-centered podcast called Quartertones. And so we have a lot of conversations with musicians from across the Arab world, and we try to discover, again, the past, present, and future of music in the Arab world. So that's why I'm particularly excited to be talking to Noor today. So, Noura, tell me a little bit. You're from Mauritania, and Mauritania has not yet broached the international music sphere the way that maybe some of the neighbors have. You know, we hear a lot about Mali, we hear a lot about Morocco in terms of international music. But you have become the ambassador of Mauritanian music around the world. So tell us a little bit about that experience.
Donc, je suis Noura Mint Seymali. Je viens de la Mauritanie. Mauritanie, c'est un pays pas très reconnu à cause de, je crois qu'à cause de c'est pas nombreux. Donc, ça, c'est mon rêve que je prends la musique pour montrer notre musique qui est riche. Parce qu'il n'est pas très, très reconnu. C'est ça que mon rêve que je joue dans beaucoup de pays pour montrer la Mauritanie, la culture mauritanienne.
Her name's Noura Mint Seymali. She's from Mauritania, and it's her dream to export Mauritanian music and to make it more known worldwide. She thinks that maybe it's not so well known because the population in Mauritania is only about 3 million. So it's some of the other countries around it, like Mali and Senegal that you're talking about, have much larger populations and larger diasporas, and she's happy to be the one to bring it to people. Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
And Noura, you come from a tradition of griot music, or the griot tradition. So can you tell us a little bit about that tradition and how you sort of emerged out of that?
Je suis parmi une famille griotte, que les griots qui fait la musique en Mauritanie dans notre tradition. Donc je suis parmi une famille griotte.
She's a member of a griot family, which for people who don't know is a hereditary line that you're born into. Your family is griot, and her family is one of the most well-renowned lineages of griot in Mauritania, which they call it Igaun, if I'm not murdering that pronunciation. Yeah, that's what it's called. Griot is called Igaun in Mauritania. Hassania.
And so you carry that tradition in one hand, and then in another hand, you seem to also bring your own voice, very contemporary voice, actually, to it. So can you tell us a little bit about that contemporary voice, your voice, and how it developed?
Oui, dans notre musique, il y a la musique traditionnelle comme les griots qui fait. Mais mon père, il a étudié la musique, il a modernisé aussi la musique. Donc j'ai pris avec lui beaucoup de leçons de la musique moderne. Donc j'ai modernisé pour montrer un nouveau chose dans notre musique qui est modernisé un peu, il peut partir avec beaucoup d'autres musiques ailleurs.
So she was born and educated and grew up in the griot tradition, but also her father had a very open view of the tradition. He was one of the first people to notate Moorish music, and she's always wanted to kind of continue that tradition of expanding it and making the idiom into something contemporary.
J'ai mixé la musique et j'ai pris le rythme moderne et j'ai pris les batteries de guitare basse et j'ai agité ça dans notre musique avec Ardine, avec le rythme qui est traditionnel comme refait, comme servette.
She's added different instruments to the ensemble, like the drum set and the bass and things that are not in the traditional setup. Yeah, and she added right. She's added some of the traditional rhythms into her ensemble, like refet and serbet and a bunch of the traditional structures. She's applied them to this new ensemble and this new band.
Can you tell us a little bit about the themes or the subjects, the topics that are discussed in some of the music, maybe the music that we heard tonight, for example?
Je chante beaucoup de sujets différents. Aujourd'hui, je chante sur le love, l'amour, et aussi sur le prophète, et sur beaucoup de sujets. Il y a aussi des chansons par les maladies.
She sung about a lot of different subjects, about love, about the prophet, about... there was a song with a social message about... she has a song about getting early screenings for breast cancer. Yeah.
Thank you.
So many different subjects. There's nothing that's off limits, really, about...
Great. And so how is your music received back home in Mauritania, and in what context do you perform?
Avant, c'était difficile parce que il veut pas le moderne, il veut pas les batteries, il veut rester toujours dans le traditionnel, mais ça commence. Il y a beaucoup de jeunesse qui veut ça, il y a beaucoup aussi de gens qui veulent, parce que on chante dans le mode mour, comme le petit et le biad. On a 5 modes dans notre musique, donc beaucoup de gens ils aimaient ça maintenant. Avant, j'ai trouvé beaucoup de problèmes, mais avant ça commence qu'il veut ça.
In the beginning, she encountered some resistance, people who had a more purist view of Moorish traditional music. But there's also been a lot of people who've appreciated it and have really applauded her for playing contemporary music in all of the traditional modes. She was talking about she named some of the different modes in Moorish music. There's 5 of them. And so what are the different modes? Question from the crowd. Les 5 modes sont...
We have 5 mode in the mode in English. Sorry for my English is not good. It's very bad. But try just. we have. Thank you. We have 5 modes. First mode is called kar, and second vagu, and third الكحال, and the fourth البياض, and the last mode البتيت.
So there's 5 different modes. It's a little bit it's analogous to like Indian raga, and in a traditional context you would play through each 5 of the modes, and once you leave one mode you can't go back to it. So it's like a full cycle. We don't do that in this band. We're mixing and matching modes, but like if you're doing it super traditionally, once you're out of the first mode you can't go back. There's also black and white way of it's called like the there's like
Mauritania here. Clap your hands for the Mauritanian. Thank you. You know that.
So there's different ways of playing each mode too, a black way and a white way, and there's even what's called spotted, which is when you mix the two. So it's very complex.
I love that. I want to thank you so much for your time. Again, I think you're such an amazing example of how, like Mira said earlier, music doesn't belong in a museum. Even traditional music doesn't belong in a museum. You can hold tradition in one hand, and then in another hand also sort of innovate with it and really twist it and do so many interesting things with it. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We want to thank, we've got a lot of friends here. We want to thank Artistic Freedom Initiative, who helped us with the visas. And all the Habibi organizers, who we go way back with all of them, and everybody who we know here, and everyone we don't know. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.